Football, sliced and diced with Sedgemoor FM and Somerset FA.
Welcome to Sliced and Dice. We're having an open and honest conversations about local football. I'm Craig Scriven, football referee, and this is Neil Fellows from Sedgemoor FM and Paul Conwell from Somerset FM.
Well, I think
Craig's
FM.
FA.
Somerset FM. I could deal with that.
Very good.
I think Craig did a pretty good job, considering we just threw him on the spot. Something referees don't get every day.
Craig does.
Craig is such a good ref.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
So, Craig, I want to start off with the question that's come in from someone that we know, and I'm going to call them Tony because that's actually their name.
As opposed to something else.
Yeah. And their question is a question that I think is a question that a lot of football fans will want to know the answer to. Do you actually buy your glasses from Specsavers?
No comments. Next question.
On a serious note, for me, and I not just you, but referees in general, always interested to know, and as we've got you here, why a referee? What's your background and why did you go refereeing?
So obviously I was very, very young when I started refereeing. My refereeing journey started very young. It started at 14 years old. Obviously I was playing like most children were playing. Then most referees obviously still playing now, or I got injured when I was a young footballer, and I thought, like most referees, what can they do to earn some money, extra money? And mine was refereeing, and so I got injured and started refereeing as well as playing. So I was doing both at the same time, and as they say, the rest is history for me now, because I haven't played since, and I've met refereeing's my future now, and something big passion of mine, big hobby of mine that I really, really enjoy.
When did you stop playing?
So I stopped playing when I was 16 years old. So that's
just a couple of years ago.
So stopped playing when I was 16 years old, and haven't looked back since. Refereeing's been my sole focus. I love watching football still, really enjoy watching football. I'd still like to play football, but unfortunately I just can't risk it at the level I am at now. I just can't risk getting injured from playing football, and I just love refereeing too much. Refereeing's a big passion of mine.
So you say level, what level is that? Just a
yeah. So I'm a 2B referee, so I referee in the National South and the National North.
I hope to be a referee. Or
so I referee in the National North and National South, and I'm a fourth official in the Football League. So yeah, so cool. I just referee now. I used to run the line as well.
Nice one. So we've got some questions that have come in from some of our viewers and listeners, and one's come from Brian. Now, Brian's actually a groundsman at Bridgewater United.
Yep.
His question is, how do you feel after the game, and how do you deal with the abuse that sometimes comes from supporters and players, and sometimes even managers as well, that think they can do a better job?
After the game, my feelings are like that's the best thing, because refereeing is my happy place.
Yeah. And
for me, coming off the pitch, getting 22 handshakes, there's no better feeling for me. When you get the responses, you get the appreciation from people that are happy to have a referee, and the higher you go up, you get handshakes, sometimes you get claps off the pitch. Obviously sometimes it's not always like that. If only it was, because there's a winning team, there's a losing team. So obviously sometimes you get those days where you get home, you throw the kit bag down, you think you're never going to do that ever again. But sometimes, a lot of the time, it's a real one of those things. I love it. It's for me, it's my happy place.
It's a passion for you.
Yeah.
I've also got a question from Andy. What's the best example of sportsmanship that you've ever witnessed?
There's an example where there's a player injured, they're through a goal, and instead of scoring the goal, they did score the goal, but the other team then scored the goal themselves.
Yeah.
So because they didn't think it was fair, they scored the goal. A lot of his own team weren't happy that the striker went through and scored the goal, because everyone was saying kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. He still went through and scored the goal. Yeah. So his whole team agreed. He went back and scored there to make it 1-1. So the other team basically scored another goal. So that was really nice to see.
Nice. Doesn't often happen.
No.
Obviously, you you referee at a high level,
Yeah.
and you're pushing on, you're developing,
Yeah.
you're still looking to increase the level and
Yeah.
the standard you referee at. But you also referee at the other end,
Yeah.
the grassiest of grassroots,
Yeah.
Kids football,
Yeah.
Sunday mornings, the whole lot.
Yeah.
There's lots of examples, and you would have hundreds in
Yeah.
your memory bank of simulation,
Yeah.
injuries, pretending to be injured, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do you feel that what's your way of managing that, and do you feel that there should be greater sanctions around that poor sportsmanship?
My way of managing it is talking to players. As you know yourself, I'm a big talker, I'm a big communicator. So if you can see someone going in and you can see there's going to be no contact, no foul, stay on your feet, little things like that. Be aware there's a tackle, knowing in your mind instead of not talking, knowing there's a tackle coming in, knowing someone's going to dive in, get in that right position. Obviously, in terms of sanction, it's one of those. Obviously, you're cheating the other team out of winning a game. So I know the higher up, they're banning players on after the game. It is really tough because you've got to be 100% in your mind that player is cheating. It's written. You got 100% in your mind. No, there's no contact. It's one of those. It's really, really tough as a referee judging that. Sometimes it's easy because you know he gets up, he can accept a yellow card for diving. Sometimes you feel, is a yellow card enough for diving because he's cheated? Sometimes maybe it could be a sin bin for diving, things like that.
Yeah.
It might be a better way of acting like, come on, you've dived maybe 10 minutes off the pitch. Sometimes it's very up to discussion. I completely agree.
A lot of referees do tend to be ex-players.
Yeah.
Do you find that as an ex-player yourself and now being a referee, that your experience as a player has moulded your refereeing style? Is that a good thing, a bad thing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, they always say the ex-players are the so-called better referees because they've played the game, they've been there, they've done it, they can read the game that little bit more. Obviously, I was a player that tried to let the game obviously, as a referee, I want to let the game flow, play the advantage. As a player, I wanted that as well. So I wanted the referee to be on notice, not whistle, or be busy. Obviously, at times you have to be, but unfortunately, I wanted to be the referee to be on notice. So that's what I tried to be as a referee, or be a big talker, play the advantages, things like that. Yeah, I completely agree. I think they are helpful if that happens. Yes.
Yeah. I like that. As a fan, when you're watching a game and it's like really flowing, because the referee's kind of like taking more of a back seat.
You know, absolutely.
It does get you up on your feet.
I think, say if you disagree, but I think we've seen some really good examples at the pinnacle of football in the Premier League this year, where the occasion has been so big, but the referee, the way that they've managed the game, has enhanced that game.
Absolutely, the Premier League referees this year are letting the game flow even more and more, and they're getting a lot of credit for it because they're just letting certain challenges go because they want the game to flow and they want the ball to be in play. And if you go back to the World Cup final this year, the referee got a lot of credit because he was an ex-player himself.
So we've had a lot of questions come in, obviously from my listeners and people that we know who are interested in football. And we're obviously not going to get through all of them today, but one question I've got, what about running the clock down? Because we see even things with it's harder, I guess, with things like fake head injuries in the last 5 or 10 minutes of a game. How do you sort of manage that as a ref?
And unfortunately,
tricky.
As a referee, we're not a doctor.
Yeah.
We unfortunately, if you see a head injury, you've got to accept it. You have to obviously stop play because yes, they could be cheating. Yes, they could be fainting injury. But at the end of the day, you are not a we as referees are not medical experts. We're not doctors. We cannot take any risks. Unfortunately, on a head injury, we have to stop it straight away. Yes, there will be frustration. Yes, if the team's losing or the teams that got their injuries winning and they want to delay the play, yes, but unfortunately we just add it on. We tell them, we'll be proactive, we'll stop the play, say look, we'll add it on the end of the game, and we have to accept that as an injury. We get physio on.
We saw that in the World Cup, didn't we?
Yeah.
With the very large additional times added to games, and I think that highlighted really, to some degree, how much the ball is out of play, how much time is used through the 90 minutes with the extra bits of football that people do or don't do or like or don't like. and I think it's,
And you'll realise referees are switched on to it these days. They are knowing who's doing what, who's doing what, but obviously knowing they still can't tempt anything. They're obviously not a doctor, but they will just add it on.
Yeah.
So.
Great, really appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us and explaining a little bit more about refereeing. Also appreciate everyone who sent in questions for us as well. For now, in the comments, if you've watched the video so far, would you leave the word red card in the comments for us? And just so that we know that you've been watching this far, and just to confuse people who didn't watch. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get extra content and support the channel, then check out the Patreon link in the description.